Today is Tuesday, May 13th, 2025. I'm Candidates Johnson with this after lunch edition of the program. Stories topping the headlines. Grangu County District 2 Representative Councillor Fonati Kofa officially resigns as Speaker of the 55th House of Representatives following months of leadership struggle among members of the lower house. Representative Kofa says his decision is aimed at safeguarding the Liberian Constitution and the country's democratic principles. Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency signed a counter detachment arrested a 33-year-old woman following a major anti-drug operation in Greenville City. LDA authorities say over 30 plays of high-grade marijuana with an estimated street value of 3,700 United States dollars were discovered during the arrest. As military tensions between India and Pakistan intensify, thousands of Liberian students studying across India are raising urgent safety concerns, calling out the Liberian government for what they describe as a false and misleading assurance about their well being by the Liberian government. And away from home, a US funded flight carrying the first group of 49 white South Africans to be granted refugee status has landed in Washington after leaving Johannesburg on Sunday. The news bulletin, voices of the newsmakers are all packaged, plus our stories with the absence of the newsmakers and our following developments are all packaged in this after lunch. Bring you the news bulletin. Many thanks for being there and welcome back. Up next is the Bulletin of News with Sam Andrews.
Granku County District 2 Representative Councillor Fonati Kofa has tendered his resignation as stakeholders, the Congress of Democratic Change, and his constituents. Addressing the media following his resignation, Representative Kofa noted that his decision was aimed at safeguarding the country's constitution and its democratic principles. According to him, he expected President Joseph Boakai to abide by the ruling of the Supreme Court of Liberia, arguing that the president's decision to work with a quorum worsened the situation that led to his resignation. He added that he and members of the House of Representatives who had upheld the rule of law reevaluated the situation and took into consideration several factors, ensuring that no one would suffer because he had to be Speaker. The former Speaker also emphasized his departure was not only influenced by financial incentives, but rather a strategic decision to avoid further legislative chaos and potential violence. Representative Councillor J. Fonati Kofa disclosed plans to release a book titled From 1 to 73, detailing the conspiracy at the Capitol building, a clear reference to the full membership of the House of Representatives and the events that reportedly led to his resignation, among other issues. Commercial drivers across Western Liberia have launched a go-slow against what they describe as excessive taxation and persistent harassment by the Liberia National Police Highway Patrol officers. According to them, they have been unfairly targeted by traffic tickets, costing more than US $50, which they term as increase from previous $10 fines. Many also claim they have been penalized for operating defective vehicles, a situation they argue is largely due to the poor condition of the region's highway. The deteriorating infrastructure, they said, makes it clearly impossible to maintain their vehicle in proper condition, leading to repeated mounting financial pressure. Former student leader of the University of Liberia, Jacob Jalla, and Richardson Cogway have joined the Congress for Democratic Change. Jacob Jalla said President Joseph Walker continues to buy 1.5 million United States dollars Lexus vehicle while thousands of Liberians continue languishing in extreme poverty with no basic social services. He indicated that rescue government did not come to rescue the people, but rescue themselves at the expense of the people. For his part, Richardson Cogwell noted that he was excited to join the Congress of Democratic Change owing to its style of leadership, noting that the party is responsible institution that cares for the people. He criticized the Unity Party government for being so irresponsible and inept in handling the affairs of the country. Delivering the acceptance speech on behalf of the party, Montserrat County District 9 Representative Francis Foko lauded Jacob Jallard and Richardson Cogwell for joining the party. He said CDC is the People's Party that cares for everyone irrespective of their background and economic status, emphasizing that their experiences and expertise will take CDC to another level. Former Information Minister Len Eugene Nangwe has confirmed that the Liberia National Police is actively conducting a formal investigation into allegations involving the death of Cletus Noah. Police investigation follows complaint from the former maritime boss over accusation made against him and others regarding the death of Cletus Noah. Speaking in an interview Monday, Eugene Nangwe disclosed that the brother of Cletus Noah, who served as chief of office staff to former finance and development planning minister Samuel Tue, sent him series of text messages accusing him of being responsible for the death of Cletus Noah. Len Eugene Nangwe stated that immediately he got the text messages, reported them to the Liberia National Police, calling for a full-scale investigation because it borders on his reputation, credibility, and security. He added that he personally requested a scientific autopsy of Cletus Noah's remains to help establish the cause of death. According to Eugene Nangwe, the Liberia National Police has instructed Simosis Funeral Home to stop the planned burial of or work on the body until the investigation is complete. The Deputy Minister for Administration at the Ministry of Justice, Masa Jalabai, has outlined a bold agenda for the continued transformation of Liberia's justice system for institutional reform and public accountability. Speaking Monday during the opening of Criminal Court A under the theme, Mission for Transparency and Continuing Improvement in Liberia's Justice System, Jalibai addressed key challenges within the country's legal framework while also celebrating recent progress made through judicial and executive operations. She added that the reforms include extension to court terms, updated mechanism for the appointment and relief of judges, and other procedural adjustments designed to modernize legal administration. Masa Jalaba was clear that procedural reform must be matched by financial and institutional investment. According to her, the magisterial sitting program at the Moravia Central Prison, a pilot initiative, has significantly reduced pretrial detention and addressed prison overcrowding. The deputy minister emphasized that ensuring fair and speedy trial remains a top priority for the Ministry of Justice, particularly in light of ongoing concern around prolonged detention and limited access to justice. A strong critic of the former ruling party, the Congress for Democratic Change, and now Deputy Minister at the Ministry of Health, Martha Morris, has come under serious criticism by locals in Bond County for what they consider as her insensitivity to their plight. Speaking on behalf of the disenchanted partisans and residents, former district national, that's Nathaniel Koga, stressed the need for the residents and partisans of former district by the ruling Unity Party and the inclusion in the local government among several others. He also noted that former district gave their full support during the elections to the ruling party, and if nothing is done to improve their living condition, they might lose vote. And as military tension between Pakistan and India intensify, thousands of Liberian students studying across India are raising urgent concern, calling on the government for what they describe as a false and misleading assurance about their well-being. Crown Koma, president of the Liberian Students Association in India, said more than 4,000 Liberian students currently studying in India feel abandoned and unsafe, particularly those living in high-risk regions such as Punjab, Jalahal, and Panakot, which lie near the Indian-Pakistan border. Koma, in an exclusive interview, said they are residing in areas that are identified as potential military targets. On May 11, Liberia's foreign ministry released a statement claiming that there is no immediate threat to Liberian students in India. The release followed internal consultations, it said, with the embassy in Monrovia. Kuman, president of the Liberian students based in India, said the government statement is out of touch with the reality of student condition in India. According to Kuman, there have been credible reports of missile activity and military maneuverings along the Indian-Pakistan border. He pleaded for protection, noting that a memorandum was submitted to the Liberian government from the Liberian Students Association in India, outlining four urgent demands, which includes the immediate establishment of a consular presence or representative body in India, clear and consistent communication channel between Liberian authorities and the students abroad. He confirmed that communications have been sent to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Assistant Minister Charles Taylor, and the chair of the House of Representatives Foreign Affairs Committee.
Sam Andrews with the news bulletin. The news bulletin is a regular feature here on the King's Newsroom. If you just joined us, as a reminder, you are in tune to King's Newsroom, 45 minutes of high-grade balance, incredible news about Liberia and the rest of our one world. Today is Tuesday, May 13, 2025. I'm your presenter, Cornelius Johnson, with this after-lunch edition of the program. One of our top stories: Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency Sano County Detachment arrests a 33-year-old woman following a major anti-drug operation in Greenville City. LDA authorities say over 30 plates of high-grade marijuana with an estimated street value of 3,700 United States dollars was discovered during the arrest. We take another break. When we come back, we'll bring you the voices of the newsmakers. Many thanks for being there and welcome back. Today's development now, Grand Crew County District 2 Representative Councilor Fonati Kofa has tendered his resignation as Speaker of the 55th House of Representatives following months of leadership struggle among members of the lower house. The former Speaker's decision reportedly comes following engagements with former national stakeholders, the Congress for Democratic Change, in his constituents. Addressing the media following his resignation Monday, Representative Kofa noted that his decision was aimed at safeguarding the Liberian Constitution and democratic principles.
It's important to put everything in perspective, right? We got to play the game by one set of rules. The rules keep changing, right? I think we held on because when the Supreme Court made a decision on December 6th, all the book people came and said it was confusing the term alter. Which was to deal with a majority block. Okay. Once that changed, we had to assess our own participation in what is going on. And as we see it, after the caucus evaluated, with still those going up at the Capitol, with more armed men being called in as reinforcement, our choice was to either go tomorrow to the Capitol to have a repeat of some sort of violence, right? Or to avoid that. I think one of the things we try to do is to avoid it. The second thing is you see Fonati Kofa, but you don't see the people standing behind Fonati Kofa. How long can I ask my 60 employees who have not been paid for 6 months to stay on? Okay, I have to evaluate that. How can I ask my colleagues who have endured this battle to stay on, especially when significantly we started to lose some of our most committed members after the president's statement. All of that led us to have a strategy session and a strategy meeting to say, what is the utility of moving on? Do I just continue to be a speaker sitting down at home while someone else is exercising the power and the privileges of the office? In my mind, I think that's not a wise use of my.
He added that he and other members of the House of Representatives who had upheld the rule of law during their impasse reevaluated the situation and took into consideration several factors, ensuring that no one would suffer because he had to be speaker. The former speaker who emphasized his departure was not influenced by financial incentives, but rather a strategic decision to avoid further legislative chaos and potential violence.
Let me tell you, if I wanted to take money for this would not be the ideal time to take it, right? Because it's not as valuable as it was before the hearing, before the ruling, right? Before the ruling, if I had withdrawn my case and I wanted to sell it, was the ideal time. So it doesn't make sense. What they are saying is, and it's anticipated in Liberia, nobody do things out of principle. We sat there for 6 months, no pay, no nothing, nobody bringing any gas or anything. At the end of 6, 7 months, then you can say we took money. We could have taken money and spared the public. Because there is no issue of money changing in it except the legitimate benefits, salaries, and benefits of our colleagues. Next to me is my book. It's called From 1 to 73, The Conspiracy at the Capitol.
He's a former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Councilor Fonati Kofa. They're speaking. Former student leader of the University of Liberia, Jacob Jala, and Richardson Kobwe have joined the Congress for Democratic Change. Jacob Jala said President Joseph Boakai continues to buy 1.5 million United States dollar legs of vehicle, while thousands of Liberians continue on languishing in extreme poverty with no basic social services. He indicated that the rescue government did not come to rescue the Liberian people, but as such, they have come to rescue themselves at the expense of the ordinary citizens.
Thank you very, very much. I feel absolutely elated to be on these historic grounds of the mighty Congress for Democratic Change. I feel a deep sense of nostalgia back on these grounds, on these great grounds, men and women, sons and daughters of the land, putting together a great historical movement for national transformation. It is a pity that I arrived here rather lately. But I think I made the journey on shore at the most disastrous time in history. So again, I'm happy. I love the energy here, and I'm happy to see the reception. But I have a few words to deliver here to the nation on these campuses of the mighty Congress for Democratic Change. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, the political leader of the mighty Congress for Democratic Change, Josh Manawia, the chairperson of this great party, Mr. Jangako, Secretary General Jefferson Tamakoji, members of the Executive Committee of the Congress for Democratic Change, partisans and all. The Congress for Democratic Change is an enduring symbol of peace, political inclusion, and broad participation of the marginalized and the vulnerable. Today, standing on these sacred historic grounds of struggle, I come to announce a new Magna Carta. It's been 20 years of democratic development in Liberia, 20 years since the end of the Great Slaughter. Years that saw the motherland wasted and saddled in anguish, a land shot and bombed into the Stone Age by men and women, but mostly men, who quest for raw power, shone more brightly in the foreground as their love for the Republic, its mothers and children receded more dimly into the background. In a land of great patriots, the reverse was always going to be the other way around.
His former student leader of the University of Liberia, Jacob Jala, they're joining the Congress for Democratic Change yesterday. For his part, Richardson Jala Kobwe noted that he was excited to join ranks with the CDC owing to his style of leadership, noting that the party is a responsible institution that cares for the Liberian people. He, however, criticized the UP government for being so much irresponsible and inept to handle the affairs of the country.
Today, I am overwhelmed. Even though people had negative thoughts about some of us few years ago, but quickly permit me to recognize all executive committee members here present, all adjunct, foot soldiers, paratroopers, the honor privilege, solidarity allies. I want to say to you, you have an undiluted revolutionary one. Today is a historical day, and this moment will go down in history. Few years back, we believed in ourselves that there would be a moment upon the completion of our struggle in the student community, there will be an exit strategy. We did not know where we will land, where the political grammar will land us. But in life, destiny is always setting. It is never a surprise because we pay the price. And today, we are humble, we are glad, we are joyful to join ranks with men and women who have never gone to bed, regardless of the circumstances that they go through on a daily basis, who continue to shoulder on the revolution and make sure that Liberian people's interests The interest of the Liberian people will be respected and be accorded.
Delivering the acceptance speech on behalf of the party, Masura County District 9 representatives Frank Safoko lauded Jai and Kowe for joining the party. He emphasized that the CDC is the people's party that cares for everyone, irrespective of your background and economic status, emphasizing that the experiences and expertise they have brought will take the CDC a long way. Here now is Representative Frank Safoko.
Revolutionary acceptance speech done by Comrade Frank Safoko Jr., who's representing the people, the very good, unique, civilized, organized people of Electoral District number 9, Masura County. Comrade patrons and defenders of Liberian revolution. Today we raise our faith and voices in triumph on this 23rd of May. Today, a powerful son of the soul, a fearless former student general, a revolutionary thinker, and a son of struggle, comrade, big brother, Jacob Jana. Refer to him as Jesus when we were kids. We're not brave enough to call him Jacob Jana. However, protocol has placed us in a position to refer to him as Comrade Jacob Jana.
Yeah.
Has made a historic decision. He has joined the ranks of great CDC, the only true beacon of hope for the downtrodden, the rejected, the oppressed, and the forgotten, where the people, not just the people of Liberia, but the people of Rehab community have been forgotten by a president, Mr. Puaka, and now he has gone into luxury, where he drives $1.5 million car in Liberia, where the people who lives in the community, a shared neighborhood with him, cannot afford food to eat.
Today's development now, formal information, Commissioner and Maritime Boss Len Eugene Namwe has confirmed that the Liberia National Police is actively conducting an investigation into allegations involving Cletus Noah. The police investigation followed a former complaint from the former maritime boss accusation made against him and others regarding the death of Cletus Noah. Speaking in an interview Monday, Eugene Namwe disclosed that the brother of Cletus Noah, who served as chief of office to the former finance minister Samuel Twe, has a series of texts accusing him of being responsible for the death of his late brother. Namwe stated that he immediately reported the allegations to the Liberia National Police and welcomed a full investigation into the matter.
Of Mr. Noah, who is sent me a series of text messages to myself and others alleging that I have something to do with that. So, given the gravity of such an accusation, I decided to write the police because he has evidence. He says that there was foul play. Then I think the police will investigate to follow up to my complaint. I restated my complaint. I asked some questions. I also requested that the investigation as is being carried out, it should also ensure that an autopsy be conducted on the body, which is the only scientific way of determining the cause of death. The police have contacted the funeral homes in Moses to put a temporary stop to environment activity to full determination to be made. And I'm pleased with that because it's in the public interest to know what has happened to the man, given the fact that his brother and a few other members of the family are alleging criminality. Some of us are so many times that we are working on, we make frivolous decisions and we let it lie. But in this case, I think
He's Len UDI, former commissioner of Maritime. If you just joining us, you're listening to King's News Broom, 45 minutes of accurate, balanced, incredible news about Liberia and the rest of our one world. Today is Tuesday, May 13th. Story headlines: Grand Crew County District 2 Representatives Councilor Fonati Kofa officially resigns as Speaker of the 55th House of Representatives following months of leadership crisis among members of the lower house. Representative Kofa says his decision is aimed at safeguarding the Liberian Constitution and the country's democratic principles. Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency San County Detachment arrested a 33-year-old woman following a major anti-drug operation in Greenville City. LD authorities say over 30 pieces of high-grade heroin or marijuana with an estimated street value of 3,700 United States dollars were discovered during the arrest. As military tensions between India and Pakistan intensify, thousands of Liberian students studying across India are raising urgent safety concerns, calling out the Liberian government for what they describe as a false and misleading assurance about their well-being by the government. And away from home, a U.S.-funded flight carrying the first group of 49 West South Africans to be granted refugee status has landed in Washington after leaving Johannesburg on Sunday. We take another break. When we come back, we'll bring you more developments here on the program. Thanks for being there and welcome back. This development now, the Deputy Minister for Administration at the Ministry of Justice, Mas Chalaba, has outlined a bold agenda for the continual transformation of Liberia's justice system for institutional reform and public accountability. Speaking Monday during Criminal Court A opening, under the theme Mission for Transparency and Continual Improvement in the Judicial System, Jala addressed key challenges within the country's legal framework while also celebrating recent progress made through judicial and executive cooperation. She added that the reforms include extensions to court terms, updated mechanisms for the appointment and relief of justices, and other procedural adjustments designed to localize legal administration. Here now is Deputy Minister Masa Jalaba.
I applaud the recognition for transparency and a call for continuous improvement within our justice system. We are cognizant that much has been done. For instance, through the Ministry of Justice and the Executive Arm, we submitted several amendments to our criminal procedural codes. In the criminal procedural codes, plea bargaining, extending the term of courts, admission of relieving judges, and some others which have been printed into handbill. In order for us to even strengthen with the justice system more, we agree that increasing budget allocation to all sectors, having stakeholder engagement, building the capacity of our personnel are all ways to improve and ensure that we meet justice for all. We also take note that the magisterial sitting program at the Monrovia Central Prison has been a good initiative, but it's time to expand within the counties as it aids in the reduction of pretrial detention and workout limits of the prison system. We seek to improve coordination when it comes to assignment of cases to enable effective representation. We are also putting in modalities to improve the capacity of our latest solicitors across the country. In conclusion, I welcome you all and assure you of our collaboration in ensuring we grant our citizens each and fair trial.
A strong critic of the former ruling party, Congress for Democratic Change, and now Deputy Minister at the Ministry of former district gives their support. Africans who granted refugee status has landed in Washington after Johannesburg Sunday. Relations between Africa and the United States have been tense for months after President Donald Trump said that members of the country minority were victims of racial discrimination. This was discussed by South African Foreign Minister Ronel Lamola, who said that there's been no persecution of Africans which confirmed it was not involved in the resentiment scheme, nor was it to take part in any of the